Distinguished Liang. No offense, but I didn't think you had them on.
I have served dukes, princes, kings. Only the most well-heeled great. Following the increasing accidents and drownings upon the Grand Canal, a decree has been brought into effect barring excessive drinking while at the helm.
That's certainly adventurous.
Come, distinguished cliente.
Salute, Claudia.
You here to look at the book? A presto, Ezio.
Buongiorno.
Salute, Ser Ezio. Shall we take a look at the list? Buon viaggio!
No, I'm missing one seal.
That should do, I hope. And please, come back often.
And distill the elixir of life.
I'm a friend.
People, does the katana have auto edge alignment?
To all seek citizens of the most serene republic. Following the increase in accidents and drownings upon the Grand Canal, a decree has been brought into effect barring excessive drinking while at the helm. Attenzione! Following the recent deadly fire in Sassuolo, the Doge has decreed that the manufacture of frutti d'artificio be controlled and subject to certain standards. The guild has a complete list for consultation.
I swear, I'm not trying to mess this up. It's just really hard to come to time. A lot harder than long. And the answer is no. Does the katana have auto edge limit?
People who went out for cigarettes and never came back. Why did you leave? Where did you go? What is life like for you now? Serious. My parents are divorced, so I live with mom. Both parents have anger issues. Growing up, I can't recall a day I wasn't yelled at. Often it wasn't even anything I did. If my mom or stepdad had a bad day, my fault. My siblings did something wrong, my fault. Bills, my fault. When I dreamed of becoming insert career, they'd shoot me down saying how terrible at it I would be and I stood no chance. Would consistently threaten to not feed myself and my siblings. It's not like I could say anything to anyone because it was adult's word versus child word and I'd always lose. My mother is very good at acting like a great mom. Fast forward to high school, I got a girlfriend. Someone who made me feel wanted, appreciated, etc. My mom didn't approve. One day, I was on my way out to meet my girlfriend on her work break, to which my mother protested. She told me if you walk out that door, don't bother coming back. So, I left and haven't gone back. My friends and my friends' families were there for me, giving me places to crash at night. I was still going to work as well. My mom tried to get me fired from my job, which failed. She then called the police and reported me as a runaway. I ended up getting locked up in a juvenile detention center, where, any sort of due process I was held prisoner, treated like a criminal, lied to, and no one would listen to me because I was a kid, teenager, but adults didn't care. From there it was determined I would live with my father. My dad had no clue how to actually raise a kid, since he only got my sister and I every other weekend. But me being a teenager, there really wasn't much to do. Surprisingly, he still managed to fail horribly as a father in the short time I lived with him. Food-wise, people who went out for cigarettes and never came back. Why did you leave? Where did you go? What is life like for you now? Serious. My parents are...
Dude, I just did all that.
He'd only buy Hungry Man dinners or Tombstone pizza. That was it. That was my food choices for living with him. He also didn't approve of me having any friends, as he managed to find fault with every last one of them. My dad would find fault with everyone. You could literally be Jesus Christ and he'd still find something wrong with you. Anywho, one morning he wakes me up, sort of, and informs me I need to get out soon as him and his wife are trying to have a kid and if they have one. It gets my room, tiny house. They weren't even pregnant yet and I was told my weeks were numbered. Fun. Fast forward a few weeks, a friend of mine is hanging out with me. I think it was a Saturday morning like 4 a.m. We wear it loud, but my dad is a light sleeper. Friend was over as we hung out all night and he had an interview where I worked in the morning and instead of me driving out to his house to drop him off, only to drive out again a few hours later to pick him up seemed pointless. Place open at 6. Dad comes downstairs just raging already, sees my friend over, and effing loses it. He too, gave me an ultimatum. Sadly I can't recall the exact words. Called up my ex-girlfriend from before, and asked if I could move in with her. She had an apartment. Whole nother big chunk of drama. Should say, I was 18 by this time. I worked long hours, still went to high school, paid bills, etc. Eventually paid my way through college. Eventually bought a house. No wife or kids for this story. Just an angry person who learned to not trust people. He'd only buy Hungry Man dinners or Tombstone pizza. That was it. That was my food choices for living with him. He also didn't approve of people who went out for cigarettes and never came back. He'd only buy Hungry Man. My mom turned her guest room into a nursery after I told her she will never meet my child. I'm currently pregnant with my first child and both my mom and stepdad have been terrible to me and my partner the entire time. Told us we would be unfit parents because we aren't married yet. Legitimately screamed at my partner for knocking up their little girl even though we planned the pregnancy. They would call him every day and harass him, and showing up to his work. Try to convince him to leave me so I would have no choice but to move back in with them. It got worse as time went on. I finally decided to cut contact with them. Having a child can already be a stressful time, and having them around to make it worse was not something I was okay with. My partner and I have gone through a lot with family drama the past couple years, and having this baby has been one of the most exciting things for us. If my parents can't be nice to my partner, then they don't get to see our baby. Plus, they are the kind of people who don't wear masks in public and actively choose to be in large gatherings with no social distancing. So them seeing a newborn is out of the question. One day I sent my mom a very detailed email of why she is not allowed to be a part of my life anymore, and my mom turned her guest room into a nursery after I told her she will never meet my child. I'm currently pregnant with my first child, and both my mom and step. To make things even better, I also noted that we will be moving across the country shortly after she is born to be closer to other family members. So not only is she cut off, but we are literally moving far away and never coming back. She responds by showing up at our house at 11 p.m. screaming outside our door about how it is her baby and she deserves to be there for it. I tell her to F off and eventually she leaves. Months go by and she will text me randomly asking about technical problems with her Wi-Fi router or something and needs help. Little things like that don't mean much to me, and I sent her the info she needed. My cousin also had a virtual baby shower and sent my invitation to my mom's house accidentally, so my mom came by to give it to me. Things slowly came to a point that we were fairly amicable with each other, but I still stood my ground about our boundaries and nothing else had changed. She knew this. Then she sends me a video today that blew my mind. She redecorated her entire guest room to be a nursery. Crib, changing table, $400 worth of newborn clothes, toy chest, stroller, a car seat for her car, and the list goes on. In the video she is in tears saying, "Oh, I can't believe my baby is going to be here soon. This is where she will sleep, where I will change her little diapers. These will be her toys." Is she psychotic? Her baby? Sleeping and living at her house? What? So I call her up immediately and I reiterate that we are still moving across the country soon and that she will have no contact with the baby before that. Her response? "Oh, okay, we will see about that." Genuinely confused. What part of you will have no contact with this baby? To make things even better, what's the biggest loophole you have ever found? I'm not sure if they do this anymore, but many years ago, while an employee at Home Goods, the store had this promotion where employees could get these scratch-off cards that reduced the cost of an item by January 5th, $20 each time they found a price sticker on the floor. Each card had 3 scratch-off areas, and the catch was that you could only scratch off one. However, if you used a lamp, you could see which scratch-off area was the January 5th, 2020, meaning that you could very easily rack up a $20 gift card for every sticker you found on the floor. The idea was that if employees collected these fallen stickers, regular, nefarious shoppers couldn't stick them on something of far greater value and check out at that price. There were no rules on how many an employee could have, or combine, because most folks who worked at that store were middle-aged women who really couldn't give a F, and most of the stuff Home Goods sells is garbage. But then there was me, a starving, broke college kid, who got paid shit, but who worked in the back room unloading trucks, and who also was occasionally tasked with stocking.
Well, because you just heard me listening to TikTok for the past, I don't know, a couple minutes.
It's time.
You did it. It's beautiful.
See. Now let's hope your idea works. Because we're nearly out of time.
Listen close, Ezio. You're going to want to fly from fire to fire. The heat of each one you pass over should lift you back up in the air again.
Bene. Careful, though. There's archers out on the roofs tonight. Avoid those arrows, or it will be a short trip.
I wish there was some way I could use my sword while flying these things.
Well, you do have your feet free. If you get close enough without taking an arrow in the head, maybe you could kick them off the building.
Nice.
It's now or never, amico mio.
We're flying, Arthur. Arthur, I think we're flying. Let's do it.
Ma cos'è? Shoot! Shoot the flying demon! Ma cos'è? Shoot! Shoot the flying demon!
Ma cos'è? Shoot! Shoot the flying demon!
What was that?
Don't worry. Probably just kids with firecrackers. Come, it's your move.
What's he doing? What are you up to? Haven't I seen you before?
Stop! Signore, don't drink that!
You are too late. The Doge is dead.
What? Carlo?
Apologies, Signore. But you should have listened to me when you had the chance. Seems you have failed, assassin.
Forgive me, Signore. I tried.
Why? What was it all for?
Assassino! Assassino! He's killed the Doge! The Doge is dead!
It takes one assassin to kill another, it seems.
We kill thinking it's best for us. Do we not, Messer Ezio?
I do this not for myself. Compio questo sacrificio per il bene superiore. Requiescat in pace.
You killed me? You killed me?!
Strike! Ora! This one is different. Get him! Fuori! Out of my way! I can't see him anymore.
There! Eccolo! Get him! Shit, the boss there! On him! Would you rather be roasted or fried in oil? Out of the way! For his coglione!
Move! Move! How long before you die, Merlin? My blade is heavy.
Please, be careful, Mr.
What's your problem?
There he is!
Not my throat.
And by into their downfall we'll watch have only laughter. When their corpses smell of fall, we will not
I've great metal work here. Has any... I was sure I had what it was you need. What was it again?
There is something moving over there in that haystack.
Sit back down. We're in the middle of playing a tarot game.
No, this time I saw something. I know it.
That's what you say every time. You were right. There was something in the haystack, you feminuccia.
I'm tired of your jokes. This isn't funny. I couldn't...
Run faster! Leave me alone! Yes. I think I got away. Leave me alone! I have to find the way out. If only it helps me. Run faster! Leave me alone! Run faster! Yes. I think I got away. Leave me alone! Run faster! Guards! To arms! To arms!
I think you're